Good morning, everybody. I'm Kathy McNamara. I think you know I'm not Gary Kanye. So I can't do a Cupid with my hair. It won't cooperate. So this morning we're going to start off our service by singing our congregational song, I Can See Clearly Now. So if you want to stand up, if you're able, and let's sing this with some vigor and some energy, since we are without rain for a few more hours anyway. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain has gone. All the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Two more times. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Last time. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. All right. Yay, Carol. What a way to get the day started off. And the next best way to start the day off, and maybe the best, is our opening prayer with Deb Thomas.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's everybody get comfortable in your chair. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Let's let go of all that stuff that's in your head, floating around in there. Just imagine breathing that out. Breathing in the peace of God. Sweet Spirit of life, divine presence that lives and breathes in each of us. We come home now to the quiet center of our being. We acknowledge that your light is not somewhere far away, but alive within us, guiding, renewing, and transforming us from the inside out. In this sacred moment, we release the need to seek approval, validation, or direction from the outer world. We gently let go of appearances, expectations, and old stories that no longer serve our highest good. And we remember the truth that all change begins within, that peace begins within, that love begins within. We affirm now there is a divine wisdom at the center of my being. There is a divine strength rising up within me. There is a divine love expressing through me. From this inner knowing, we allow our lives to unfold with grace. Our thoughts become clearer. Our hearts become more open. Our actions become aligned with truth. We trust that as we transform within, our outer world reflects that transformation. In our relationships, our work, and our purpose. And so we rest in this awareness that we are whole, that we are guided, that we are enough just as we are. In gratitude for this inner light and in faith in its perfect expression, we release this prayer into the loving activity of the law. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
And I will be in the front pew if you have any prayer requests after church. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. So unity, what is it? Unity is a practical approach to Christianity. And when I say a practical approach, I mean it's an approach that we use that we can practice in our daily lives. We take the things that we know, we take the things that we learn, we take all those tools, the Bible, all the works of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founders, other New Thought authors and teachers, and we take all these tools and we apply them to our daily lives. Because when we do that, we are able to see that God-like image, that inner divineness, if you will, in everyone else. We get to truly apply namaste. The God in me recognizes and honors the God in you. And that's what unity is all about. That's why we come here every Sunday and other times with our meetings and our classes, because we want to learn how to apply Christianity. Not just say I'm a Christian, but how to apply it practically in all of our lives. So I would like you, if you would, to read with me and say this with great energy this morning. There is
only one presence,
one power, active in my life and in the universe. God, the good omnipotence. Awesome, awesome.
Okay,
Deb, you're on.
And today's, this is a great daily word, inner peace. Please repeat the affirmation with me 3 times. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong.
Don't go away. We're on together today.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so anybody who has a smartphone or cell phone or any other type of electronic device that's going to disturb you, disrupt you, distract somebody near you, let's put him in silent mode for right now. I love what Reverend Gary always says. Those things will get their messages while we get ours. All righty? I was going to say pagers, but boy, that would really date myself. Candace pointed out this morning when I called her Little Miss Seersucker because she's wearing a seersucker suit. She said, oh my God, you know how old you are if you know what that is, right? So, exactly. All right.
Okay, and our core values. You know, we had a team of people that got together and put these core values, created these, and I think they're fabulous. So let's repeat them one time. Integrity, compassion, transparency, intention, and freedom.
And at the time we came up with the core values, we decided on coming up with a vision and mission. And our Unity of New Braunfels vision is, read this with me, okay?
We celebrate a spiritually awakened world where everyone lives with inner peace, purpose, and a sense of belonging. And our mission statement, this is kind of how we want to be seen out in the world, what we want to do. Let's repeat that together. We support a wellspring of spiritual growth through education, acceptance, and authentic action as we serve our community and the world.
So Helping Hands Ministry. In Helping Hands, this is a program that Kathy Overcamp and Reverend Gary started. It's probably been 2.5 years now, and it's been such a success because people have come forward and not only said, hey, I can help, but hey, you know what? I could use a hand on this. And it's really nice because what this says here, everyone needs help sometime, and everybody can help in some way. So we have a request this week. Betty Sharp, who is right here in our front, is moving. And on Wednesday, she needs some help with some light packing. Movers are going to come do the heavy stuff, just light packing around the house. It'll be Wednesday the 15th from noon till about 4. If you have any boxes at home that you're waiting to break down for recycle, bring them with you. She can use them. And there will be pizza and cookies. So if you're able to help Betty on Wednesday, see me after service. Or we have, Judy, I think, can help us with, Judy's on a greeter in the back. I've got little pieces of paper that have Betty's name, address, and phone number on it. So that if you can be there to give us a helping hand, that's great. I know we all got together, a bunch of us, when Pat moved, and we had a blast. It was like a party. So if you can help, definitely be there.
Okay, oh, and our Sacred Service volunteer. We have a lot of gratitude for this guy. We really do. He has been great working with Owen and in place of Owen sometimes. So hallelujah. So if you see John during the week, tell him thank you and remember him in your prayers.
John is my babysitter. So whenever Gary and Owen are gone, John's here to make sure I behave myself. So John has the official title of being the Kathy babysitter. He makes sure that this is on right. I don't go walking off with it and take it home, all kinds of good things. But John, thank you for so much for everything you do for us. It's an amazing, amazing chore. So let's give him another hand. We really do appreciate you. Okay, so now our next congregation song, Love is the Answer. You guys all know this one. Let's stand if you can, and let's sing this together.
I appreciate John too. He's always here. He helps me carry my guitars and gets me plugged in. And I love this song. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way.
All right, thank you, Carol. So the month of April, this year Reverend Gary is doing the 12 Powers of Man with a different one for each month. And I'm kind of following suit when I speak up in Unity of San Marcos. And I love this. I love having a theme that we go through. And April marks the month of wisdom. So what exactly is wisdom? Is it just knowing things? Not really. Wisdom is kind of an integration of different things. Knowledge, what we know, experience, what we've lived, discernment, how we perceive and how we interpret things, and then good judgment. And in April, the color is yellow. Angela, I think you're in yellow. I'm not in yellow, folks, because I own one yellow shirt, and it's a T-shirt from Possum Holler Bakery in Tennessee. And even I have some standards for Sunday morning attire, so I'm not in yellow today. But the location in the body that Charles Fillmore assigned for wisdom is the solar plexus, or the upper abdomen, what we often refer to as the gut. Three of the attributes he said that go with wisdom is judgment, discernment, and intuition. Now let's talk about judgment for a second. I don't really like that word, do you? Judgment makes me think kind of a negative approach to things. I'm going to be very judgmental, which is not the same as judgment. Judgment is being fair and judicial, being honest about things, not being judgmental, where I can say, why'd you wear yellow today? You know I wasn't wearing yellow today. You know, not judging others, but being fair and judicial on that. Discernment. That's kind of a cool word, discernment. What does it mean? Well, to discern something is to perceive it when it's not obvious to you. And so let me give an example of what would be a discerning behavior. I'm sitting in a group of friends, and one of our friends may not be there, and everybody starts ragging on that one. Well, did you see what she wore to so-and-so's birthday? Well, did you hear what she said to her husband? They start really speaking discouragingly and disparagingly about the person who's not present. I'm going to have to exercise some discernment. Do I sit quietly and listen to it? Do I gently change the subject? Do I say something? Or do I remove myself from the conversation? Because when I am being discerning in that circumstance, then what I'm going to do is realize that that's not aligning with truth, and I need to either correct or step away. And then there's intuition. To me, intuition breaks down to two words: gut feeling. Anybody ever ever have a gut feeling about something? Absolutely. You have a gut feeling that, I have this gut feeling that construction is not done on 46. I think I'll go the other way. Well, I have a gut feeling that may not be the best move for me to take right now. Maybe I shouldn't make that decision in this frame of mind. We operate a lot on gut feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. The whole idea with wisdom is not to be that you always know what's going on. Wisdom isn't always knowing what's going on. Wisdom is knowing what to do when it comes up. Okay? Now, in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 33, they say wisdom rests in the heart of the discerning. Rests in the heart of the discerning. That example I gave you about maybe I should say something or not, to be able to discern, to perceive things at that different level. And that's where wisdom rests. So we have to let ourselves kind of understand that everything comes from within. Deb did a beautiful opening prayer about talking about coming from within. Every one of the 12 powers of man that Charles Fillmore has written about, when he talks about the location of the body, every one of the locations comes from deep within the core of ourselves. And not because it's really physically located right smack in the middle of our body, but because he wants us to understand that everything we need, these 12 powers, they all emanate from within us. That's why the title of my talk is A View from Within, from what things look like from the inside out. Now, I like this quote because it doesn't smack me in the face. I don't like Bible quotes that smack me in the face. I get too sensitive about it. But I do like this because it talks about the heart of discernment, being able to differentiate, being able to say and see beyond appearances what the truth is in a circumstance. Love Ralph Waldo Emerson. I studied Emerson a lot when I was in ministerial and going through practitioner classes. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. To see the miraculous in the common. And so often we don't do that. Everybody here pretty much has a morning routine, don't you? I mean, I get up in the morning, I do my business, and I get Sadie, our little dog, and take her out so she can do her business. And when we go out there, I usually go down, and Sadie's doing her thing, and I go over and throw some dry cat food over on the other side of the fence for the feral cats. I throw some deer corn out and make sure the bird houses are all filled up. And sometimes it's like, okay, cat, birds, deer, Sadie, got to go in and get my coffee. And every once in a while when I go out, I'll have a different frame of mind, a different perspective. A couple of days ago, I walked out and there was just a little yellow butterfly flying, and it caught my eye. Now, it wasn't a big monarch butterfly or anything exotic. It was just your usual, this time of year, run-of-the-mill garden yellow butterfly. But it caught my eye, and as it was flitting, it looked like it was just waving to me with its wings. And I, all of a sudden, just stopped for a minute and went, whoa. And as I stopped and looked, back in the trees behind the fence line were some deer poking out, waiting for me to go back on the porch so they could come eat. And as I looked, I saw a little fox. We have gray foxes back there slithering off to the side. At that moment, I was able to see the miraculous and the common. I see those things every day. But let me rephrase that. They're there every day, but am I seeing them every day? Probably not. And we have this God-given gift, this human body, that to me is one of the most miraculous things that has ever been. The fact that we have all these systems in our bodies, the nervous system and the circulatory system, and they just kind of weave together to form this living coalition within us that lets us continue to move on through our lives. I've got a thing in my chest that's about the size of my fist, and it's constantly doing this. It's constantly beating. My heart's constantly beating. It keeps me going. And these human hearts of ours, some of them, without any interference from us, will go on for over 100 years. If that's not a miracle, I really don't know what is. Because that, to me, when I sit back and think, wow, I'm approaching the stove and I don't realize the burner's on, and something tells my body to pull your hand back, dummy. I didn't consciously go, oh, it's hot. Oh, no, I need to pull it back. It's just something in me says, this is what you need to do. That, to me, is when you see the miraculous in the common. We take things for granted, but this is such a beautiful way of looking at things. Now, Meister Eckhart was a religious, I believe he was a Catholic, I'm not sure if he was a Jesuit, but wonderful, wonderful writer, hundreds of years ago. And he was so far ahead of his time because he saw things that others didn't. People were branding him a heretic because of the things that he said. He said this, the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. I love that. I absolutely love that. The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. When you really interpret that, it means that I'm seeing through the eyes of God. I see through the eyes of God. But do I? I mean, sometimes when I'm driving down the road and somebody cuts me off, I don't think it's through God's eyes I'm seeing that person that just cut me off. But if I'm seeing through the eyes of God, then I'm not going to start calling this person names. I'm not going to give them a digital salute. I'm not going to do anything but think about it and go, wow, something must really be going on with that person for them to be driving erratically. Or if they're speeding by, there must be something that they're really trying to get to. Maybe there's a family emergency. You know, I don't know what's going on in that person's eyes, what's in their life. So I need to learn to try and see things through the eyes of God. Because that's an important thing for us to do, to realize. We are children of God. That's not just who we are, that's whose we are. And we have these divine birthrights that we sometimes forget about. And one of those divine birthrights is to see things a little bit differently, to see things more kindly, to see things in knowing that love is the answer. Joy is the answer. We need to remember to do those things because it's so important. That's how we learn to live fully fruitful, happy lives. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm not arguing with somebody, I feel a whole lot better. When I'm taking my time and saying, hey, I'm just going to let things happen and go with it. When I'm not worried about things. And it's a funny thing about worry. What do they always say? If you're worrying about it and you can do something about it, stop worrying and do something. If you're worrying about something you can't do anything about it, well, what's serving you by worrying? Just let it go because it's out of your control. You have to just go with the flow, as they say. Charles Fillmore. Love Charles Fillmore's writings, and I love this one. Wisdom is knowing what to do next. Skill is knowing how to do it, and virtue is doing it. Now, I'm going to bet you that at least 90% of the time, each of us really does have the wisdom to know what to do next. we have the wisdom to know what to do next. Sometimes we absolutely just have no flipping idea what we're supposed to do next, right? I mean, you get hit with a circumstance or a situation. I have had that in the kitchen before when I burn something and go, I have no idea what I'm going to do next because I didn't thaw anything out for dinner and this is it. I mean, many of us have had those things, but there's circumstances when we don't know what to do next. Skill is knowing how to do it. Well, sometimes I just don't know how. I don't know what I need to do. I don't know how to step forward. And virtue, that's the one thing. Virtue is in doing it. Now, a couple of months ago, Kathy Oberkamp and I were working on the newsletter, and we changed the format to going to a monthly that's longer, that's articles you can take your time to read. And it was getting longer, and Kathy said to me, you really need to do this. You need to get a table of contents so people could just click on it and go to the section they want. And I was in one of my usual third grade obstinate moods. Kathy's probably back there laughing at me. And I went, no, I don't. This is MailChimp. I don't really know much about this program. I don't need to do a table of contents. No, that ain't happening. And the meeting went on. Roxana was in that meeting with us as well. And I was pretty obstinate. I was just a little holy terror that day. And when I got home and sat down and took a slow, deep breath and realized what an idiot I had been with these nice women and Reverend Gary, who always volunteered their time, I realized, well, I don't know how to do it, but I have the skill to learn how to do it. And the little girl in me was going, and that computer program is not going to defeat me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get it. And sure enough, given some time and going to the proper resources, I learned how to do a table of contents that we have that works. Didn't have the skill at the time, but I knew I had the ability, the wisdom to find the skill. And sometimes it's not that we can find the skill or know how to do it. Sometimes we just have to sit back quietly, and like our Helping Hands ministry, we need to learn to ask somebody for help because somebody else will have the skill to help us with it. But then there's the follow-through. I really didn't want to do a table of contents, but I'm really, really glad that I did, and it's helped out tremendously. Another example I want to give you, and this is not something I normally do at all. We shop at H-E-B. I think everybody shops at H-E-B. I was at H-E-B, and the one we go to has a wonderful young lady who is developmentally challenged, and she's a bagger. Her name is Sarah. She's the sweetest thing you ever want to know. And Sarah will do anything I ask when I'm checking out. And I'm going up to the line one day, and I'm by myself, and I've got the cart, and I'm unloading, and there's a gentleman standing in front of me, and I'm going to use that term gentleman very loosely right now in the circumstance I'm going to relate to you. This guy standing in front of me, and it was like Steve Cleverly's big brother. Because I'm standing looking at this guy going, oh, wow. And he is at the register, and he is berating the cashier and Sarah the bagger. And Megan and I both love Sarah. She's a sweet kid. And I was really kind of ticked off by this guy's attitude. These girls, he was yelling at the cashier because the price of the meat was high. And he was complaining about one of the things he wanted wasn't in stock right now. And he turned around to Sarah and said, don't put those together. And I could feel my anxiety, you could call it anger, building and building, and I thought, okay. Wisdom told me what I needed to do next. Skill told me how to do it, which was not to go turn around and give it to him, because that was just taking a whole gallon of gas and throwing on his fire. And virtue said, if you sit there and let this go by, you're going to feel really bad for a couple of days at least because of what he's doing. So I took a slow, deep breath, and I said, excuse me, sir, I'm really sorry. You must be having a heck of a bad day. Because I know that you're aware of the fact that this young lady doesn't set the prices at H-E-B, and she's not stocking the shelves or determining what quantity is necessary. And I happen to know Sarah very well, and anytime I ask her to do something special with my bagging, she's awesome. I'll ask her to pack it light, and she does everything I ask. So I'm sure that you're aware that none of this has anything to do with them. And he whipped around and looked at me, and I'm looking up at him going, and the next thing they said was, that's when they took her away in the ambulance, right? Because this guy was a mountain. I'll be honest, I was at that moment going, oh, wow, discernment. Maybe a little more discerning in this instance. And he turned around and he just stopped. And it got very quiet. And the two young women were just like, inside I was like, and he turned and he said, you're right. He said, he turned to them, he said, I am so sorry. I have had a bad morning. And it was not ever my intention to be so rude and unkind to you. It reminded me one time I had somebody that once told me, just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you get to gift it upon someone else, right? When I read this quote, it made me think of that instance. And I don't do that all the time. I very seldom do that. If it's really out of whack, I will say something. But in this case, I think, and if it had been two guys there, I might have looked at it differently. I can't believe I'm admitting that on tape. But, if there'd been a young man at the bag or something, but Sarah's a real sweet gal, and I have this, likeness of her, and it's like, so it was wisdom to know what to do. Exercising the skill to know how to do it. If I didn't have people skills and know how to approach that so that he wouldn't want to just pound me, probably would have kept my mouth shut. And then virtue to do it. And I'm not saying I'm a virtuous person. Believe me, there ain't no St. Kathy standing up here on the platform. But to know what the right thing to do is, and then to follow through. And I think each of us has those circumstances in our lives when that comes up, where we know how to do that. In preparing for this talk, correct me if I don't get this right, made me think of the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is when you see a circumstance or you're in a circumstance or you have a thought process and you know the difference. You know what to do when that circumstance comes up. Because that's when you have that view from within. So let's talk about our personal exploration today. These are my recommendations, guys. Number one, shift one way of seeing things. You don't have to move mountains. Just look at one thing in your life or a circumstance. One situation where you've been seeing things a little differently and you're not comfortable with it. And start to see them from a different perspective. See them just a little bit differently. This week I allow wisdom to show me a new way of seeing this area of my life. Second is to practice wisdom as inner listening. Inner listening with that still small voice. Allow the still small voice to come through. I was teaching youth church one time and the kids saying, my mom says grandma's crazy because she hears things. So no, it's not the same thing. When you're sitting quietly and there's just this, you intuitively know what's coming through and what's being said for you, right? You don't have to hear voices, but you're going to have that inner understanding, that inner peace that comes through. Practice, for me, it's the pause before I respond. I've said this before. I had a girl in my office in San Diego that said, how is it you don't just jump down people's throats when they come to you and ask stupid questions? And I said, well, first thing I ask is, how do I want to show up in this moment? Because that moment can be very defining for my relationship with that individual. It's like a first impression type of thing. And the second thing is I do Erica later referred to this as the Kathy dance. It takes an instant, but I'll sit back and I'll look at the situation, and it's mentally taking a step back and a step up, and then looking and saying, how is it I want to show up? What is the truth here? Just that little pause before I respond, before I react. Because that can be very defining in relationships, whether it's with a coworker, a friend, a spouse, a child. Any relationship can be defined by those little moments where we just snap off. So practice inner wisdom. Practice wisdom as an inner listening. And the last is choose one act of quiet renewal. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, but it can be life-giving. We have a friend in San Diego that is, she's 10 years older than I am. She's pretty much homebound now. She's had health issues. And every once in a while when I'm driving home, I'll give her a quick phone call and say, Chris, I don't have any more updates since last I spoke to you, but I was thinking about you. I just want to let you know that I am thinking about you and that I love you. And Chris is ecstatic that somebody called to tell her that. She lives with her son and his wife, but they're off working and stuff, so she's home all day long by herself. So one little phone call that can take maybe 2 minutes, if that, and it's made her day. It's life-giving to her, but it's also very life-giving to me because I feel good when I get done with it because I know how much she has appreciated that. So allow yourself that one quiet act of renewal. Call somebody you haven't spoken to in a while. Spend some time in nature. I think all of us love doing that. Finish a project that you started. Lori, you're just going Lori's doing like I do. 2 weeks ago, on a Monday, I decided I was going to finally go through and purge all my files at home from old bills, because I like to keep no more than a year at a time on certain things. And I hadn't done it for 2 years. So Connie was out at the store, and I grabbed all these files, and I put them on the island. And I knew if I put them on the island, I'd have to do it, because that's where she's going to come home with the groceries, right? So I was on a time constraint. When it got a little bit closer and I wasn't done, I called her and added some things I didn't need to the grocery list just to keep her gone. But please don't tell her that. But it was one of those things, and when I got done with it, it was like, wow, that was really good. I felt so good because it was done. I still have a little stack on the dining room table, but that's going to take a while longer. But just do some things you haven't done in a while. And for me, it was like, well, I'm just going to do the top drawer of the file cabinet. Well, I did the whole file cabinet and then move files, and it was invigorating. It was life-giving to me because it was something I'd been putting off. Do things that serve you, serve your highest good. Do things that you know are going to give you that inner wisdom, that inner view. Do things that make you happy. Because I can guarantee you, how many in here are parents or have kids that you love? And when they're happy, are you happy? Don't you live for their happiness? Do you think God doesn't live for our happiness? When we are happy, when we express ourselves in that God-given way, the heavens open up. I mean, literally, God wants us to be living our very best lives. So that's what we need to do. And I guarantee you, if you will take all of these things to heart, if you will take the judgment and the discernment and intuition, if you take all of these things together, you will see things in a different perspective as you see a view from within. Thank you very much. Excuse me. So let's do a real short little meditation here. Everybody just kind of get comfortable in your seats. Take slow, deep breath. Just center yourself. Bring your consciousness to this moment. And know with me that everything that we need in our lives, every single thing we need, is present right now, right here, within each of us. There is nothing that we can wish for or dream of that cannot come to fruition by just using those tools, by listening and knowing how to express it from within to without. I know that each person here has that inner wisdom and guidance and allows it to flow readily and freely. And as we allow this, our lives are enriched. Walls are torn down. We see things in a different perspective. We're able to see things with the eyes of God. And we're able to see things more lovingly. We're able to see things with a kinder approach. And when the outward expression clouds our vision a bit, and we question what we're seeing, know that what we're seeing does not have to be with what we're believing. And so I take this moment to be extremely grateful for that inner vision, for that wisdom, for that view from within, knowing that I can change that perspective anytime I choose. And for this truth with a capital T, I give great thanks as I release my word to the law of God, which only knows to say yes. And so I release, I let go, and I let it be. And together we affirm, and so it is. Amen. Okay. And now I'd like you to repeat with me 3 times, if you will. This is my affirmation for today's talk. I trust the wisdom within me to guide my vision. I trust the wisdom within me to guide my vision. I trust the wisdom within me to guide my vision. And so it is. And now we're going to repeat the Lord's Prayer. This is written in Aramaic, the time of Jesus' language at the time of Jesus, translated into English. Ready? Father, Mother, birther and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. Untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. For age to age from you comes the glorious harmony of life. May these words be fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen. And now we've got another song with Carol. It says special music, but Carol loves for us to sing with her. So everybody stand up, if you will, and let's sing this song together. We've done this before. This is one of my favorite songs, and I just absolutely love it.
Till we
world. Well, that's a very poignant song for now, isn't it? This is the time when we welcome any newcomers we have to the church. Is anybody here for the first time today? All right. We have someone here, and whoops, Deb, I need the microphone. I'm sorry. There we go. Well, I'm not going to embarrass you. I just want to let people know what your name is and where you're from. And we are so very, very happy you're here with us today. Here you go, Tammy.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kennedy. I live in Schertz right now. I moved here 4 years ago. I've been living in Houston for 40 years.
I'm sorry.
I know. Now, wait a minute. Your judgment.
No judgment. I'm from California. You can judge me all you want.
But I'm originally from Illinois.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome, Tammy, so much. Anybody else that's here for the first time? Nope. Okay, well, here at Unity, we do this thing where we like to rub our hands together and welcome you. Dear friends, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome, Tammy. I hope we'll see you back. Okay, and now this is where we welcome our online viewers, those people who will be viewing this service later in the week. So if you want to turn around and wave to the cameras, we know that you are with us in spirit, with a capital S and a lowercase s, and we welcome you. I know that you will take your words this week, the words this week, and apply them to your life, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you in the sanctuary with us soon. Okay, now we're going to do our offering affirmation, if you will. Ready? I am one with the opulence of God. I am now in the flow of infinite abundance, and I give thanks for the prosperity that is mine by divine right. So this is where we do our walk of abundance. So we're going to put the little table over here. The copper bowl is where we put our offerings, and it can be good intentions, it can be just a big smile, gifts of love. And the wooden bowl holds our affirmations. So please, as you're coming up, take as many affirmations as you'd like. Tammy, your presence here is our gift, but please make sure you come up and get an affirmation from us. So everybody, if you will, come on up.
we all say thank you so much for these gifts, and thank you for the love thoughts and everything else that were put into that bowl. We're going to use those gifts to go out into the community and help share our message. Thank you. Prayer box. And the prayer box outside. We know that all prayers are answered. Sometimes it takes a little time, but we're going to keep on praying over those, and then we're going to send them to Silent Unity, where they'll be prayed over for another 30 days. So keep those, just remember that there are prayers out there. If you get a chance on the way out, you can just say a little prayer over that box. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Okay. Every time I move this table, it reminds me of just how short my arms are compared to Reverend Gary's.
I'm not much better.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing announcements. Okay, I am the prayer chaplain on duty today. So once again, if you have a prayer request, see me in the first pew. I also wanted to announce, Lucy asked us to announce that there's nobody signed up next week to do hospitality. So if you're on the hospitality team, or even if you're not, and Lucy can help you, would you see Lucy after the service? Thank you.
We have somebody very special with us today. Ann Coleman. We're going to be singing Happy Birthday to Ann. I know it's not the first day of the month, but since Ann's moved, she can't get here with us every Sunday. So if you will turn your love towards Ann Coleman. Ann, stand up for us, so let's sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ann. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ann. We're so happy you're with us today. And Ann, I want you to know I made you very famous this week, because when I was typing this, I kept trying to put in Ann Taylor. but I did get it right for you. So happy birthday, Ann. So happy to have you with us today.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, okay, Ann, do you want to say something? Here.
My birthday wish has always been, I sang my birthday wish to myself, and it's always worked. And so that is what I was doing today. So happy birthday, Ann, and many more.
Yes, thank you, Ann. Well, we've got nothing but beautiful wishes coming your way from your spiritual family, so thank you. Okay, Knit and Crochet with Love. Tracy Odom, who's not here this morning, started this with us. Knit and Crochet with Love is a program where anybody who does any knitting or crocheting, that type of thing, can make something. We've got some examples. A lap blanket or a baby blanket, mittens, scarf, shawl, sweater, afghans, whatever you've got, or a quilt. And when you complete it, just give it to Reverend Gary. These things go to the Comel Crisis Center. These are the people that go into that crisis center that had to walk away from everything in their home. They got to take nothing with them. And so it's really a beautiful gift to be able to give a mom with a baby that had to leave crib and toys and just take whatever she could carry, to give her a baby blanket. Or to give a senior who's been displaced and is now in crisis and is at the center, an Afghan to snuggle up with at night. The beauty of this is there's no time constraint. If you start a project in March and you finish it in November, that's fine. There's no time constraints. Just when you do it, bring it into Reverend Gary. The only thing that we do ask is if you're knitting and crocheting, be cognizant of the type of material you're using, so it's not going to cause itching or an allergy or something, maybe cotton yarn or something like that. It's a beautiful program, and Gary sometimes will wait and he'll have a whole trunk full of things that he takes. And he said that when he gets there, the staff at the crisis center just wells up because they're so overwhelmed by the generosity. And that's what we are. We're a generous family here.
Okay. Oh, Seat of the Soul. Well, no, it's not by H. Emily Cady. but it is the seed of the soul. Linda Gillespie is doing a book study. No, I think that, no, this is wrong.
This is a class she's going to do.
Yeah, but-
she called it Lessons in Truth.
It's Lessons in Truth
Yeah,
by H.
by H.
Seed of the Soul is her book study she's doing
that's
now on
Gary Zukav.
Tuesdays.
Yes, my
on
bad.
Tuesdays. So, yes,
Yeah.
it's by Emily Cady. It's a foundational unity book. So if you've never studied it, in fact, they don't have it as a separate LUT class, but the very first class I took, SEE class years ago, was Lessons in Truth.
Yeah.
And it really does go over what we believe, our basic philosophy. It's still very, it's very current, actually. So it'll be 5 Sundays in person and on Zoom, 1:30 to 3:30, April 19th through May 24th. You're going to skip May 10th, but we'll have the 5 Sundays. Once again, if you've never taken it, and Linda is an expert in Lessons in Truth.
Yeah, and just so you know, if anybody that signed up for it, it was supposed to start today, but Linda needed a little more time to get ready for it. So no class today, starts on the 19th. Okay. Twice Blessed Treasures, our thrift store over here, which Connie's going to get into it this week and get it a little better cleaned up and whatnot. But if you have anything that you want to go looking for, little trinkets of treasures or different things, they're in there. Just remember that we are the only ones who basically use this store. So if you bring something in, we got a couple of requests. Number one, make sure it's clean, because we don't have time to come in and clean up what you're donating. Bring it in a nice fashion. Make sure you bring it in things that aren't broken, chipped, and please no knives or axes, because we do have people that use our space on Saturdays, the Seventh-day Adventists, and they have access to that. So do the children that come in with them. So we want to make sure everybody is safe in that fashion. But bring it in. Donations are always welcome. And if you see something you like, just make a donation into the box. Nothing's got a price tag on it. It's whatever you feel it's worth in your life. So make sure you take advantage of that.
Okay, sacred service. Okay, spring cleaning, one closet at a time. Ooh. We're going to do the Hobbit closet over here in the hall, the one with the little door. And from what I understand, it's crammed with stuff. So if you would like to help do that, it'll be done Sunday, April 19th at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, Reverend Gary calls it the Hobbit closet. Lauren Frederico, who's going to help organize us with this, she calls it the Harry Potter closet as well. It's just, I don't even open the door anymore because I'm just afraid what might come out at me. So it's kind of crowded in there. Okay, and now we have special music with Carol Elliott. This one we get to sit back and relax and enjoy as Carol sings to us. God Be My Vision.
Yeah, this was an old Irish melody, and it's in a lot of different hymnals with different lyrics, and I kind of adapted it to mine. God be my vision and strength of my heart. Life loses meaning if we are apart. You're my best thought by day and by night. Waking or sleeping, your spirit brings light. God be my wisdom, let me live by your word. Grace me with courage and kindness, dear Lord, in holy communion and faith we unite. God in me dwelling, a bright shining light. God be my vision and strength of my heart. Life loses meaning if we are apart. You're my best thought, both day and night. Waking or sleeping, your spirit brings light.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, this is where we say farewell to our friends that are online. We'll be stopping the recording now. We wish you a wonderful week and look forward to seeing you here again. Thanks so much.